every TV brand in the next 15 minutes. If you want to buy a TV but don't want to do the homework, this video is for you. More importantly, in 2026, a lot has changed among the different TV brands. What you thought a brand represented maybe 10 years ago, no longer the case. So we're going to get into it, and maybe based on that, you can decide which TV is for you. Hey friends, Windows 10 support is ending, but don't spend $199 to upgrade to Windows 11 Pro. Get it for about $21 with today's sponsor, Whokeys. This Black Friday, Windows 11 Pro, Windows 11 Home, and even Office 2019 are all 30% off with my code SF20. Yes, Black Friday is here. Get an additional 30% off with my code SF20. Let's get it, then activate it. Go to Whokeys.com, add Windows 11 Home to your cart, apply my discount code SF20, and bam, only $21. Here's how we activate it. Go to your Whokeys account at the top right under User Center. Click on My Purchased Orders. Click on View Keys and Code. Click Get the Key. Copy the Windows 11 Pro key under Code Card. Then go to your system settings, scroll down and click Activation. Click Change Product Key. Paste the key code. Click Next and you're done. And Whokeys makes this whole process easy. You get instant key delivery, 24/7 customer support, and hassle-free returns. Check out the Whokeys links in the video description below. We'll start with the easy one. These are what I call the throwaway brands. Why are they throwaway brands? The reality is these are cheap TVs, right? Very inexpensive and designed just to get you to connect the TV to the internet because ad-supported revenue. These brands, they really don't care much about image quality as long as it works and it's good enough. That's good enough for them because you're plugged into the internet and they're getting paid every time you watch free content over the internet, as long as you're watching their ads, right? And that's quite simple and quite predictable which brands these are. Fire TV, Roku TV, Insignia, and Vizio. Very affordable. Don't even think about image quality. The reality is it's probably the same one or two contract manufacturers that make all the TVs for them. What separates them is their different operating systems, whether it's Fire OS, or Roku, or Google TV. All these operating systems are designed to get you online so you can justify their ads and then they get paid and then everyone's happy. You get a cheap TV, they get their ads, everyone gets what they want. But if you're an enthusiast, there's an issue here because it's not image quality they're after. You're going to hear some familiar brands that do this as well. Remember RCA, Toshiba, Pioneer. At one point, these were respectable brands, right? Remember the RCA ProScan? But now, the brands no longer mean what they used to mean. That out of the way, let's get into the real brands. When I say real brands, these are the companies that put in a lot of effort to give you the best image quality they can, given their engineering philosophy, and more importantly, does that philosophy match with what you're looking for in a TV? So we'll start with Samsung. Samsung is one of the more popular TVs out there. It's a big brand. And Samsung's philosophy over the last, I'd say, 2 years has changed a lot. Now, the image quality is still there. However, keep this in mind. They are now more of a lifestyle brand, meaning when you buy a Samsung TV, this is your entry into the Samsung family. Samsung refrigerators, Samsung washer dryer. They all work seamlessly together as an entire ecosystem for the home, the smart home, so to speak. So even though their TV may be good, and we'll talk about which actually are excellent TVs and which are almost like the throwaway cheap brands, right? But Samsung still is an engineering company at heart. Very sophisticated. I'd say easily among lifestyle attempts, Samsung is the leader here. What about Samsung that's compelling beyond this integrated smart home? And so this is where you have to be careful. When buying a Samsung, their top flagship TVs, good. Especially their OLED TVs. We're talking about the S95 series, right? This year it's the S95H, last year the S95F. This is image quality at its best. Gaming, movies, whatever it is, right? This OLED technology, Samsung has really pushed the envelope of processing and everything that makes a TV great in the flagship tier. Samsung's nailed it. So you have to stop and ask yourself, okay, if you could afford a flagship Samsung and you're into the Samsung ecosystem, I have no qualms recommending the flagship Samsung. However, many of you are like, okay, look, I can only afford an entry-level Samsung. We're talking cheaper than even the Crystal series. What am I losing out on? You're losing out on image quality. Now, it's good enough. It's no worse than a Vizio or a Roku TV, but it's not better. What you're getting is the Samsung operating system, its integration into the rest of your appliances. If that's all you need, you've nailed it. Moving down the list to someone who wants to be like Samsung, and that would be LG. Yes, they have cooking appliances, right? They have all the stuff Samsung has, but the integration just falls short. We're not saying it's less reliable. LG appliances arguably could be more reliable. It's just the integration isn't there. So what is there? LG's execution on a per appliance basis, whether it's an individual washer, an individual dryer, an individual TV, consistently, they execute very well for that individual item. So if you're a TV enthusiast who doesn't need all the bells and whistles of a smart home integration, I would consider LG above Samsung in this way. They provide you with more settings capabilities, more ways to tweak your TV to exactly the way you want it, more than Samsung. And now, many of you who are gamers, you're asking, wait, what about gaming? We're gonna leave that at the end because there's a nuanced branding decision to be made there. So yes, we'll address gamers shortly, but non-gamers, right? Just content watchers. I'm very comfortable recommending LG or Samsung, with the only exception being Samsung is more plug and play ease. You don't really have to figure out all of the settings to make it work well. LG gives you a lot of settings, maybe too much settings, but hey, that's appealing to some people. To me, that shows a lot of engineering sophistication. They've broken everything down for you to help you fine-tune the image to exactly the way you want it, right? They have the best calibration system within a TV for calibrators. They have so many settings that gamers just love. HEIG, the various image settings for gaming. LG uniquely stands out for the amount of useful and effective settings. Samsung just works and works well. So between the two, there is no wrong answer. And this is what I love about LG. They're going to have the most affordable lineup of OLED TVs this year and the most sizes this year. So if you stick with any LG OLED, you are easily going to get probably the most consistent high-end image quality of any TV, pixel per pixel, dollar for dollar, that does everything from gaming to movie watching well. Maybe not the brightest, but if you dim the lights, untouchable. But if you want brightness, now we're going to introduce the best LCD TV brand out there, or maybe brands, and I'm going to clump three of them together. TCL, Hisense, and Sony. We're going to leave Sony for the very end because of massive changes that's happening at Sony this year and moving forward. So let's talk about the Chinese, what used to be Chinese upstarts that were very, well, they're almost considered like Vizio in a certain way in the past, right? Very affordable, very cheap. That was maybe 5 years ago. Today, they have far surpassed Vizio, Roku TV, all of those guys, right? Those guys are now considered the cheap, affordable option. TCL and Hisense, yes, they do have cheap, affordable options, but they are now known for their flagship entry. If you guys were familiar with 2026 CES and what they brought to the table, cutting edge mini LED. TCL, SQD, right? They took mini LED to a whole new level. I'm reviewing the 85-inch X11L right now. Absolutely amazing. They have finally caught up to Sony in terms of pure image quality. I never thought it would happen this year, maybe next year, but they've done it with the X11L, and it's not cheap. It's not like they did it for $5, right? This TV is more expensive than Sony's flagship Bravia 9. The X11L, dollar for dollar, is saying, look, if you thought Sony was good, we're throwing the kitchen sink and you're going to pay for it. They've always been a value leader. Well, now they are also a technology leader. So when it comes to non-OLED TVs, if you want the best of the best and you don't mind paying a little bit more, which is so strange to say about a TCL, you got the TCL. this brings Hisense in. Where's Hisense in all of this? Just like TCL at CES, Hisense also said, look, we're the leader in technology. They introduced a new subpixel, the cyan for their RGB mini LED. And then in the micro LED, they brought in a new yellow subpixel, right? No one else is introducing new color subpixels to improve image quality, but that's at the flagship. What Hisense is known for is bringing most of that flagship performance at a more mid-tier pricing. So I've noticed with Hisense, let's say your budget's $800 for a 65-inch. $800, 65-inch from Hisense gets you the most image quality, bar none. TCL at that price, I think you're still giving up a little bit, just a little, which is shocking to say because both are excellent values. Like last year, the Hisense U75QG 65-inch versus the TCL QM7K. The QM7K is about $100 on average more. I felt the U75 outperformed it in image quality in terms of the skin tones, the HDR tone mapping, the brightness. Now, gaming TCL has a slight edge, but for content watching, the U75 was so good, I thought it challenged even TCL's own QM8K a step up. So that, to me, is mid-tier power. However, going farther up the chain, when you have the TCL QM9K, Hisense has no response. Their U8, U9, not a match. So I feel like Hisense is the strongest mid-tier entry. So what's their philosophy? They're bringing the best technology to the most affordable levels, whereas TCL is good, but it feels like at that price point, the Hisense delivers just a little bit more, in my opinion. Dollar for dollar, I think the Hisense gets you the most image quality bang for the buck. Now, Sony. Let's talk about what's happening at Sony. So Sony consistently has been the movie enthusiast choice. When it comes to skin tones, this is their philosophy. We don't care about gaming as much as everyone else. We don't care about these snazzy Dolby Vision 2, Dolby Vision 1, whatever, right? Well, we got that, but that's not our focus. Our focus is when you watch a movie, does it look amazing? Is the shadow detail visible? Is the skin tone natural? Trust us, we're the best at it. So they are. Consistently, they've won the shootout, and the shootout has been emphasizing creator's intent, the movie feel, all of that, right? And Sony does that better than anyone else. However, that doesn't sell. So what's happened now is that TCL has taken over Sony's TV division, although if you're reading the news, it's a 51-49 split, but TCL owns 51% of this new joint venture moving forward. Sony is spinning off its entire TV division to this joint venture, taking 49%, but more importantly, TCL is taking charge of the entire development stack, from design, engineering, fabrication, distribution, customer support, sales, all of that. That's going to be run by TCL, and Sony's there kind of like as a consultant. Yes, they're part owners in all this, but really they're licensing their know-how. Starting in 2027, this is when the partnership really takes root. This is when TCL actually manufactures Sony's TVs. Even though it's still a Sony Bravia, it is made by TCL with Sony's heavy input. So we'll see how that goes. Why should you get a Sony? They will have a very clear identity, which is it's the cinema enthusiast choice. Skin tones look great, the shadow details, the lighting, right? If you want to watch a romantic movie and make sure that everything is in place to feel the romance, the Sony delivers more than anyone else out of the box. What about brands like Panasonic and Philips? So in the US, we don't get Philips, so it's hard to say. Other than I'll say this, in seeing the European reviews, Philips is very focused on things like vivid mode, right? They want the vivid mode to be awesome. So they're trying to do things that are more appealing to most people. Apparently most people watch in vivid mode, but no one puts enough attention into vivid mode. Well, Philips wants to be known for the best vivid mode in the industry. And Panasonic is kind of like Sony, except they're doing far worse than Sony. They've already pulled out of Europe as a distribution hub. They're going to find a new business model there. And in the US, it appears they'll continue to be selling in the US, but who knows how long it's going to last. I'm hoping it lasts for a long time, but Sony and Panasonic are very similar in one respect. They are very well respected in Hollywood in terms of skin tones, color accuracy. So if you want a Sony TV and can't afford it, Panasonic is a good alternative for a TV brand that does what Sony does, but maybe slightly less expensive, sometimes more. But I would say Sony and Panasonic very similar. Now, gamers, I'm not forgetting you guys. So if you are a PC gamer, look nowhere else but an OLED TV. The pixel response, the latency, the image quality, it will match your best GPUs, whether it's a 5090, 4090, whatever NVIDIA chooses to sell in 2026, only an OLED TV will deliver. And I would say LG will give you the most settings to get the most out of your PC gaming rig. Now, if you're a console gamer, LG and Samsung, the same. Excellent, because Samsung also is well known for its gaming TV. It's just you get more settings with LG. Personally, as a console gamer, I have a PS5 Pro and a PS5. I love playing on the Samsung, right? They just get it right. I don't like to play with the settings. That's not to say I cannot get the LG to look just like it. Keep that in mind. But if you want just plug and play, that works. But that's OLED TVs. What if you want to go into non-OLED? Because maybe OLED's too expensive. Samsung is the best here. I think they make the best non-OLED gaming TV out there. Now, unfortunately, that was last year. This year, they stopped making high-end LCD TVs. They've moved all into micro RGB, and I don't dare recommend micro RGB as a gaming TV, no matter how expensive it is. The pixel response and latency required to make a gaming TV a true gaming TV may be too much for the new micro RGB technology. So with Samsung this year, I'd say stick with OLED. If you want the Samsung experience and you want gaming, stick with their S95H, S90H. LG though, is more consistent because it's all OLEDs. So if you are looking for mid-tier value gaming, get any of the LG OLED TVs, whether it's the B series, the C series, or the awesome G series. Even the wallpaper is a gaming TV, essentially, right? And if you're looking for mid-tier value, where neither LG nor Samsung might be playing this year, we're talking under $700 for a 65-inch. TCL does an excellent job in the mid-tier for gamers. And am I missing a brand? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, my friends, stop the FOMO.